Hello, my name is Alec Glass, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to sit with the cello in proper posture, how to set up, and also how to maintain and clean your instrument. The first thing we want to do is take out our end pin. Now the question is, how long do you take out the end pin? Well, when you're perfectly standing up straight, the scroll should meet in the middle of your forehead. For me, that length is about this far out. Try to have a teacher or someone else help you with trying to get the right length of the end pin. And it's usually a good idea to mark the stick of the end pin with something like a permanent marker, just so that you can go to the same spot every time, especially for beginners. Now, when we're sitting at the instrument, we have these two curves to the bottom of the back here. Personally, I like to have that curve line up at the top of your kneecaps on both sides. This top part here, I got this cello bib here, but right here on the top of where your chest will rest, you know your sternum bone in your chest? At the bottom of your sternum bone should be pressing up right against the top part of the cello here. If you line all of that up, it should look like this. Right now, I have the two corners. You can see here that I have the two rounded bits, but not this big curve here, but the rounder part here, lining up with my kneecap, as well as it coming into impact in the middle of my chest here. Here's the other side for reference, coming into the corner here and sitting into the middle of the chest. You should be sitting all the way pretty much on the edge of your chair, nice and tall. If your head is hitting the tuning pegs, the larger tuning pegs, it's possible that the angle of the cello is just not right, and you might want to take out your end pin a little bit more to have a bit of a flatter instrument. You don't want to change where things are touching on your body, just the length of the end pin. So, for example, if I make this longer, I put the end pin out further. Now my cello is a little bit flatter out and it's more out that way, but still I have the curves touching here and the bottom of the cello touching my sternum. Now, pizzicato is the technique of plucking the strings while playing. Especially at the beginning, I suggest you practice pizzicato without the bow in hand and practice music in general without the bow in hand. And in a moment, I'll be discussing how to play pizzicato while holding the bow. The way I like to play pizzicato is you hold your hand up like this, like you're about to pinch something, and you rest your thumb against the black of the fingerboard. Just above, you see this curve here in the instrument? That's about where your arm should be. You don't want to be too low because you get rosin all over your fingers. You don't want to be too high either because it actually has a deader sound. So you want to be in the middle of the instrument here, bracing the side with your thumb, and you have your fingers tucked away like this. So you're only playing with your index finger. And you're going across the string. We're not pulling up. I don't know if you can hear the snapping of the string against the fingerboard, only across. We also want to make sure that while we're having our pizzicato arm up like this, our wrist is nice and flat. This is really important once we get used to playing with the bow. We have our arm raised up so that our wrist is flat. We don't want our elbow to be up like this, if you could see the bend in the wrist there, or your shoulders to rise up. Shoulders should be nice and relaxed, arm up a bit, nice flat wrist. Now we're going to talk about bow posture. On our bow, we're going to be holding down at the frog here. Some parts of the frog that we're going to be kind of lining up with. We have this shiny bit in the middle of the frog here. We're going to call that the pearl. And we have this piece of metal here that's holding all the hair together on the bow. We're going to take our hand, we'll pretend like we're waving, and we're just going to slap the bow. The way we're going to line this up is we want nice flat fingers lining up with our pinky to be on the pearl, ring finger on the metal. Your middle finger is going to touch the hair. It's okay, just down here. And your index finger is going to wrap around the grip, just like that. So again, you're going to have nice flat fingers, pretend like you're waving, slap the stick so that your pinky is on the pearl, ring finger on the metal, index finger or middle finger is on the hair, and your index finger is wrapping around the grip like that. Your thumb is going to be lining up in this space here between the grip and the frog. You see this space here in between the grip and this jutting out bit of the frog. That's where our thumb is going to be pressing against. Sometimes it's hexagonal down here. This spot right here is exactly where you're going to be pressing your thumb. It's going to look like that. It's going to be nice and curved. You see that hole right there? That's really what we're looking for. Nice flat fingers holding like that. Just for a review, nice and close, we have your pinky on the pearl, your ring finger is going to be going on the metal here, middle finger on the hair, index finger on the grip, nice flat hand, pinky on the pearl, middle finger or ring finger on the metal, middle finger on the hair, index finger on the grip, and your thumb right here. Nice flat fingers, looking for that flat wrist. Now, for bowing posture, it's going to be similar to the pizzicato that we have our elbow up and we're going to be resting onto the string. The bow is going to be tilted ever so slightly towards ourselves, and we're going to want to maintain this bow grip. Now, with the bow grip, we're going to want a nice loose wrist. As we go up and down the string, we're going to want to feel nice and loose here like this. And we're going to go in the direction that we call down, which is this way from the frog to the tip, like this. And then an up bow is from tip to the frog. And if you notice, there's no point in there where my elbow is going super high, my shoulder is not raising. Just dragging across the string like that. Now, for left hand posture, when you're ready for including that, we want to make sure that we have nice, strong contact with the string. The way that we do that is we're not pushing with the fatty part of our finger or the nail of our finger. We're really pushing against the bone. So you want to make sure that you have nice short nails for this. The way that I like to show that what part of the finger you should be pressing with is if you can make the OK sign and push as hard as you can. Notice how my finger isn't buckling. Now, let's say I'm pushing on the flat or fattier side of the finger. Do you see that buckle there? This is what we don't want. If we're pushing with a good OK sign, pushing nice and firm, this is strong. This is where we're going to be pressing onto the instrument. You can do this exercise with each finger. Here it is for me. There it is. There it is. Now, for some of us who are double jointed, I'm actually double jointed in my hand. Now, if you're double jointed, it's a little bit trickier because there's specific spots in your finger where you can get this nice, strong pressure. It just takes some time and experimenting with. But whatever point of contact is coming into your thumb, that's the spot you want to be pressing onto your string. Now, putting our hand up into position, we have our thumb going underneath the neck, and it's going to be going in between our index finger and our middle finger, what we call our first, second, third, and fourth finger. And you want to be kind of pressing down onto the string just like we were with the OK sign. And that's the spot, and the thumb again going in between your index finger and your middle finger. And you kind of want to be making a C shape with your hand as you're pressing down. So let's talk about care of the instrument. Now, when you're done playing, the first thing I like to do when I'm done playing is loosen my bow. You loosen your bow by turning the screw counterclockwise. And it's not all the way loose that you see all the strands of hair going crazy, but just enough that you no longer see, you're back to this normal bend in the stick, and there's only a little bit of tension holding the hair. Now, when it comes to the instrument, we want to make sure that we're cleaning the instrument after every time we play. Sometimes, even within practice sessions, I like to clean my instrument to make sure I get all the rosin off. The rosin that we put on our bow is acidic and actually breaks down the varnish that protects our instrument. So, right here in my pocket of my cello bib, I have some rags here. I actually have 2 rags. I like 2 rags. You don't necessarily have to have 2. I have a thicker one that's strong for the strings, and you wipe the rosin off the strings. This keeps your strings nice and healthy. With this other one, this is a bit finer, more gentle rag. I clean the body. You want to make sure that you clean the whole body, getting all the rosin residue off of it, so that there's nothing left to damage the wood. Get it underneath the strings, and there you go. A nice, clean, and healthy instrument. You want to do that again after every playing session. Well, that's all I have on playing posture and how to take care of your instrument. Thank you guys very much.